Toronto housing market update. Condos are back. In this video, I'll be covering the housing stats across the GTA, doing a deep dive through the numbers to see where the market is trending, and looking at forecasts in terms of what you can expect from Toronto's housing market in 2021. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Danish, and I make personal finance, investing, and real estate topics easy to understand and keep up with. The Toronto housing market broke multiple records to close out 2020, from the average annual home price all the way to sales. There were 7,180 sales recorded in the Greater Toronto area just in December alone, which is a 64.5% increase from the same period last year. Historically speaking, December tends to be a slow month where people are caught up with the holidays. December 2020 was a much different story. There was a lockdown in place. People were not allowed to gather. So what did everyone do? According to the stats, go real estate shopping. The GTA real estate market closed out the year with an average selling price of $932,000 in December alone. This is an 11.2% increase from December of 2019. That brought the annual average selling price of a home in the GTA to just under $930,000, which is a 13.5% increase over 2019. The GTA housing market finished 2020 with close to 100,000 real estate transactions, which includes resales in the condo and housing market, as well as the closing of new builds. In December, the average home selling price was higher in the areas around Toronto, coming in at just over $955,000 compared to just under $895,000 in Toronto. This has a lot to do with significant sales in detached and semi-detached homes outside of Toronto, while Toronto itself was mainly limited to condo activity. Looking at just a detached home segment, the average price in Toronto is $1.48 million versus $1.06 million just outside of Toronto. In my last few housing updates, I talked about the fact that the condo market itself was struggling, as there was a flight from these towers to single-family homes. With restrictions on travel and short-term rentals, Toronto saw fewer immigrants, tourists, and international students, which in part caused condo supply to increase and rents and purchasing prices to take a hit, the falling rents being pretty significant. Buyers who had gotten into the market for investment purposes quickly tried to get out during the financially volatile year, bringing tons of smaller units, especially those that were favored by Airbnbs, into the market at much more competitive pricing. At times, some of these units were going for $25,000 under their listing price. But by December, it seems that the condo market has started making its recovery. As prices were falling, many real estate observers were encouraging buyers to get into the market if they were looking to buy while the prices were under pressure. The result, condo prices finished 2020 on a high note, with the average condo price in Toronto coming in at $679,000 and $632,000 in the rest of the GTA. Softer condo prices, especially when you compare that to the rest of the market, is actually now drawing in more buyers, especially in the units that are going for less than $500,000. This recent trend could give us a signal in a month or two, or by spring, we may have condo prices much higher and multiple offers starting to roll in again. Looking at the TREB report for December, which combines data from sales and listings of Toronto, the Halton region, Peel region, the York region, Durham, Simcoe, and Dufferin County. This should not come as a surprise to you, but detached homes saw the biggest year-over-year gains, with the average selling price coming in at $1.2 million. This is an 18% increase year-over-year when compared to December of 2019. Next, semi-detached homes averaged $940,000 in December, which is up 17% on a year-over-year basis. Condo townhomes came in with a third biggest increase, with the average price at $669,000, which is a 12% year-over-year increase. Lastly, condo apartments saw a decrease of 2% on a year-over-year basis, with the average price coming in at $600,000. Clearly here we can see that overall, condos saw weakness when it came to the housing market, as people moved to the suburbs during the pandemic and purchased single-family homes. And now, as of December 2020, we're starting to see the condo market recover as prices have hit a low and all of a sudden have become a lot more attractive to potential buyers. In Mississauga alone, home prices grew an average of 16% to $760,000 in 2019 and climbed to over $881,000 in 2020. The upward pressure on housing is being felt across the GTA. In December of 2020 alone, 673 homes were sold in Mississauga. This compares to just 392 homes being sold in December of 2019. The pandemic did not hold back buyers from house hunting in a typically slow month. In fact, the pandemic made the market even more aggressive, especially when you're looking at some of these numbers. Condo townhomes were the hottest segment in Mississauga, where 140 homes were sold in December alone, which is a 122% increase over last year. Semi-detached was the next most popular segment in Mississauga, with 87 homes being sold, which is a 71% increase over last year. Let's go take a look at a heat map that shows you the average sold prices in the GTA. So right off the bat, we can see some of the hottest areas of the GTA. One of them being Oakville, with an average selling price of $1.3 million, with 225 homes being sold. Caledon, with an average price of $1.3 million, with 78 homes being sold. Vaughan, $1.13 million, with 352 homes being sold. King, $1.67 million, with 37 home sales. So if you're trying to get out of Toronto and moving to areas that are an hour to 2 hours away, you're not saving that much. Let's pick another random area. Glenbrook, $731,000 with 28 home sales. Flamborough, over $1 million with 15 home sales. Grimsby, $769,000. Mississauga, $872,000. Really, there's not much price differences in these areas. Oshawa, $649,000. Clarington, $735,000. Honestly, if you're looking to buy and you don't have pre-built equity, or if you don't have money saved for a down payment, it's tough. Like, all these areas are getting expensive. All these areas are already expensive. So if you're looking to save, you might have to go even further outside the GTA. Now that we've covered the real numbers for 2020, let's look into the forecast of 2021. Looking at all of Ontario, the CREA is predicting prices to rise province-wide, with an average price increase of 16%, which will make the average selling price in 2021 just over $823,000. You can expect to see low levels of inventory and continued bidding wars in some of the hottest areas of Ontario. Looking specifically at Toronto, in terms of what we can expect from the market in 2021, according to Dorian Rodriguez of PSR Brokerage, the resale market will only continue to get stronger, especially with an incoming vaccine. This will confidently influence many people that were sitting on the sidelines to feel more comfortable shopping for available properties. I do agree with Dorian here that the market will only get stronger in 2021. But I'm not so sure if it's because people are sitting on the sidelines because of the pandemic. Looking at the numbers covered earlier in this video, 2020 was a historic year for the housing market. Just by going on the numbers alone, you would not even be able to tell that there was a global health pandemic limiting people's ability to go house hunting. Seems like everyone did just fine shopping for homes throughout the pandemic. This next forecast is what I believe hits on all the right points. With the vaccines being released, historically low interest rates, which are here to stay for the next little while, immigration targets by the federal government, 2021 has all the gunpowder it needs for another record-smashing year, topping that of even 2020. This goes back to basic supply and demand, which we know by now that supply is very limited. There are more people bidding on properties than there are actually properties available. Add in the droves of immigration that Toronto is expecting. Once borders open up, demand goes higher. Factor in the low interest rates, increasing the buyer pool, and you have all the pieces you need for intense bidding wars for all the properties that will hit the market. If inventory remains at extremely low levels, the pricing is not going to drop anytime soon. A global health pandemic somehow managed to bring one of the hottest years to the housing market. Until we get to a point where there is a supply shock and properties start hitting the market in waves, pricing will likely keep going higher. Interested in free money? Use my promo codes in the description below for discounts and sign-up bonuses. Do you have questions for me? Feedback on this video? Or maybe ideas on future content? Drop them in the comments below, and while you're at it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. That's it for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.